coronavirus?
That's a great question, Steph, and that's what we deal with on a daily basis when we sit down in the Situation Room with the White House every day to go over that. What you need to see the trajectory of the curve start to come down. We've seen that in China. They went up and down. They're starting to get back to some normal life. They got to be careful they don't reintroduce the virus into China. But they're on the other end of the curve. Korea is doing that. They're starting to come back down. Europe, particularly Italy, is in a terrible situation. They're still going way up. The United States is a big country. We have so many different regions, like New York City right now is having a terrible time, and yet there are places in the country that are doing really quite well. You could probably identify people, contact trace, and get them out of circulation. Whereas in New York City, it's doing what's called mitigation, trying to prevent the spread. So in direct answer to your question, we can start thinking about getting back to some degree of normality when the country as a whole is turned that corner and start coming down. Then you can pinpoint cases much more easily than getting overwhelmed by cases, which is what's going on in New York City.
Part of that, right, in terms of testing, so like the numbers are going through the roof, and I think it just checked, we're, in terms of number of cases, I think we're approaching or even maybe close to surpassing Italy. Obviously, we're a bigger country, so you got to take that into account. But like testing is becoming more accessible than it was 3 weeks ago, and I know that there's different efforts in different parts of the country that are trying to address that issue. I myself, I had flu-like symptoms about 3 weeks ago, or 2 days before the NBA shut down, and I got a test, pretty much right away. And I know that there's a conversation now about just the overall accessibility of tests and how those are starting to roll out in different parts of the country. Like, what's your assessment of that process? How important is that process, whether you have symptoms or whether you don't? And when it comes to dealing with each individual case, like, how are we addressing the testing issue?
Okay, great question. That's been a real issue. Early on, several weeks ago, we were not in a place where we needed to be or wanted to be. We did not have as much accessibility of testing as we now have and that we will have going forward. Right now, there are literally hundreds of thousands of tests that are out there now, mostly because we got the private sector involved, of the companies who know how to make it and make it well, make large amounts. So we're going very much in the right direction. In specific answer to your question, you did the right thing. I mean, if someone right now gets flu-like symptoms, a fever, aches, and a bit of a cough, the first thing you do is stay at home. Don't go to an emergency room because then you might be infecting others. Get on the phone with a physician, a nurse, or a healthcare provider. Get instructions from them what to do, and if available, you can get a test. But the critical issue is don't flood the emergency rooms. Stay at home. If you really are obviously seriously ill, then you've got to go quickly there. But if you just have aches, pains, and a fever, stay where you are, but contact your physician.
So if you have those symptoms, right, now this is one of the most popular questions that I received yesterday and up until our interview started, where people really want to know, if you contract the virus, you quarantine yourself, you go through the recovery process, and then the symptoms either wane or sometimes you might not have symptoms, and the virus kind of passes through. What does it mean to be recovered, and can you get the virus a second time? And if yes or no, does that influence how testing kind of goes in the future in terms of trying to detect an antibody, or even address like that conversation around herd immunity and how to really not let this be a cyclical thing or is it a cyclical thing in terms of what to expect in the future?
Okay, Steph, you have 3 or 4 or 5 questions.
Sorry, I'll go in. Let's start with the first one. Can you get the virus a second time? Let's keep
Okay, well, but let me get to the first one, which was also important.
All right.
So, if you're infected and you recover, the question is, when can you go out and be safe to not infect others? The general rule is you have to have 2 cultures 24 24 hours apart that are negative. That's what the rule is now. As more people get infected, that likely is not going to be feasible. So we're going to have to set some guidelines of days following the diminution of symptoms. We're not there yet because we don't know as much about how far out you could be shedding virus. First thing. Second thing, your main question. Once you get infected, can you get reinfected? We haven't done the specific testing to determine that, but if this acts like every virus similar to it that we know, the chances are overwhelming that if you get infected, recover from infection, that you are not going to get infected with the same virus, which means that you can then safely go out into the community and feel immune so that you can not only protect yourself, get back to work, get back to your job, but you'll be able to have what you refer to as herd immunity. Enough people have recovered in the community, that gives the virus very little chance to spread rapidly. That's what's referred to as herd immunity.
Okay. In terms of the timeline that we're in right now, I heard this I guess, rumor or belief that kind of with like the flu, that in warmer weather or warmer months through over the summer, that diminishes the ability for the virus to spread or to act as it's doing right now. Is there any truth to that?
Well, with other viruses like seasonal influenza that we get confronted with every year, and other coronaviruses that are more benign, typical common cold, what you said is true. As the weather gets warmer, viruses tend to do poorly in warm, moist weather and do quite well in cold, dry weather. And that's one of the reasons why, in addition to the fact that in the warm weather you're more outside and not confined in a room, that these kind of respiratory viruses tend to go down as you get into the summer months. The only issue is, Steph, we don't know whether this is going to happen with this virus because this is the first time we've ever dealt with this virus. So it's not an unreasonable assumption to think that it's going to go down, but you don't want to count on it.
Right. That's what I was just thinking about from the general population standpoint in terms of how important, that social distancing effort is. Obviously, there's people that are in tough situations, having to make tough decisions, trying to earn, their income, whether they're in the essential services category in their industry and they need to go to work. Those type of things. Like, what's the risk of lifting those? Each city, each state is kind of dealing with that on a case, by case basis. But what is the serious risk of lifting those social distancing or shelter in place or stay at home initiatives too early, and that balance of where we're at with, shutting down the entire economy?
Well, Steph, it is not an all or none process. I mean, when you're locking down the way Governor Newsom did in California and the way Governor Cuomo's doing in New York City, that's the extreme. That's a heavy hammer on something. Even if you kind of lessen those restrictions, everybody until this is over should practice some degree of physical distancing and care. Not big crowds, wash your hands a lot, be careful. You can do that and still get back to somewhat of a normal life. There's a big difference between the extreme of locking a city down, opening it up a bit, but being more careful than you normally would be. And I think there are places in the country now where you want to look at carefully and say, maybe you want to pull back a little bit on the restriction so long as you just don't let it rip and say, I don't care what happens. So you treat New York City a little bit different the way you treat Nebraska.
That's kind of in the spirit of what America is in terms of we're not overreacting, right? I've heard that term in terms of people feeling threatened by the change in the reality, but there's no overreaction to this. This is a serious thing.
You're absolutely right. We need to make that point. This is serious business. We are not overreacting.
Can I go back to testing right quick? Because I'm watching some of the comments come in as we go. In terms of just specifics on the access to testing, currently, just why I guess is it so challenging to get a test if you do have the symptoms, or to your point earlier about they're at a level where you you need, medical attention immediately versus, your common, flu-like symptoms. But if you want to go get a test, like, what are the things that are inhibiting those being accessible to the masses?
Well, there should be nothing now that's inhibiting it, but originally, the system, the way it was set up, Steph, was not geared to this kind of massive capability of instantaneously, safely getting a test, getting it done in a really good period of time. Not days and days, but hours. Right now, the system is changed predominantly because it's being handed over to the commercial firms who know how to do it. It's started off as a public health measure from the CDC. It now needs to be and is being handed over to the commercial group.
And so forgive my ignorance in terms of like the testing to understand if you have the virus or not, and that's being rolled out. Is there another process of tests that are being developed to test the development of antibodies, and so we know if you've gone through the process or not? Like you said, you built up that immunity that you can start to understand the numbers of how many people have gone through that to get back to kind of normal life quicker.
Steph, that's not a stupid question, that's a smart question. Because that's exactly what we are doing and what you need to do. There's two types of tests, and you described it as well as anybody. One, to determine if you are actually now infected. That's the test that people need to get screened. Another test determines if at some time you were infected. It's an antibody test. It's much quicker, it's much easier, it's much cheaper. Those are the kind of tests where you can determine out there how many people actually did get infected and recovered. A very important piece of information that we need to get.
And on that, I know there's a time